Another sort of impromptu live breakdown of the UFC main event. Spoiler alert, this fight has already aired, but Carlos Prates KO'd Neil Magny in the main event of UFC tonight, November 10th. All right, so I'm going to access the full fight. It's not that long, and I will break down what I see as we go. Okay, so again, this fight has already taken place. And Carlos Prates, Muay Thai expert, KO'd Neil Magny. Now, I think the obvious is that you don't want to stand with the striker, right? So if it's Neil Magny, you want to do something other than try to outstrike a striker. That's a smart game plan. Hello, Jonathan. How are you doing? Are you a boxing fan or a MMA fan? What I'm doing is I just found a footage of the full Prates versus Magny fight on YouTube, and I will do commentary and break this fight down as it plays out. So right now I'm watching. Both men are in the cage. They're being announced. Oh, you're watching the Boots fight. Cool. So I was gonna. Is that what round are they in? I was gonna try to catch a stream of that, but I wasn't able to. Jonathan, do you happen to have an URL for a free live stream for that? If you do, let me know. I'd be very happy to try to tune into that as well. Okay, so let me just break down the Magny versus Prates fight quickly because it doesn't last that long. So Magny fights out of orthodox stance. Prates fights out of southpaw stance. Now, I'm not sure how much you guys follow UFC, but Prates is sort of a deceptive looking fighter because he doesn't look like he has an impressive physique or anything like that, but he's incredibly effective as a striker. So right off the bat, first serious exchange, Magny shoots in for a double, which Prates stuffs, manages to maintain his balance on one leg, and the gentleman move over towards the cage. Prates actually gets a takedown on Magny and gets Magny on his back on the ground. Magny tries to just hug Prates' head to Magny's chest, and Prates just stays in Magny's full guard for a bit. Then Magny has his full closed guard, but Prates manages to posture up a little bit, tries to sneak in some elbows to Magny from a kneeling position, and then Prates stands up. The fight's back on feet. Prates throws a low left calf kick. Magny comes out striking. Magny's sort of technical striking skills are definitely not as good as Prates's. Prates lands a good jab. Magny closes distance. Again, throws a couple strikes and then goes straight to the double. So really, Magny's just using his strikes as a means of closing distance to try to shoot in on Prates. But now Magny has Prates up against the cage. He's kind of got a wizard grip. Prates is just using his head to defend. Magny shoots in again for a single leg, this time trying to elevate Prates' leg, but Prates does a turn away and escape. Men are still grappling against the cage. It looks like Magny's, again, thinking about how he can shoot for a single. And Prates is just, again, defending the position, got good balance, Magny's elevated the one leg, but Prates manages to keep his balance and get both feet back down on the ground. So now Magny's got Prates back against the cage. Magny looks like he's trying to fight for both underhooks, but Prates is defending that position quite well. Okay, now Magny looks like he's trying to go more for controlling one side because Prates has 2-on-1 his left hand, his left wrist. Good defense by Prates. Hi, do I know Krav Maga? BBI is asking. No, I don't. Hello. Jonathan's telling us that in round 3, Karen is putting up a good fight against Jerome Boots Ennis. Okay, so I'm just doing a commentary on Prates versus Neil Magny. Okay, so fights back in the middle of the cage. The men are fighting at mid-distance. Prates seems definitely the more confident with the striking, of course, and all of a sudden he throws a jab straight left. Okay, drops Magny. Magny's back on the feet. Prates throws a high left head kick. Now Prates has Magny cornered against the cage. Magny's trying to use lateral movement to get out of the cage area. Throws a high flying knee. And Magny shoots in again for a single leg. Smart move because he knows he can't stand and strike with a striker. Prates knows to reach down, try to get wrist control, try to keep his balance, breaks away. Magny's really just trying to throw punches to keep Prates off him. Now Prates almost has Magny's back from a standing position, pushes him away, and the fight resumes at mid-range. Both men throwing jabs, of course. Prates from southpaw position, Neil from a righty position. Again, Neil shoots in. Oh, that's it. My goodness. No. Prates throws a left, I think it's a left hand, straight left, and just KOs Magny. Magny's out cold, face down, face plant on the cage. Hello, Darian. Can you request a song? I don't sing, Darian, so sorry. Jonathan says he has Karn up 2-1. Okay. Any chance you have a Earl for a free live stream on the Boots Karn fight? I was trying to find one, but I was not able to. So, Carlos, the fighting nerd Prates. Interesting choice for name of a fight team, right? The Fighting Nerds. I think they're out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. He just absolutely put on, he showed that he's definitely a black belt striker, and Magny is certainly not on that level as far as striking. Okay, so let me see if I can. Anybody got a free live stream for Ennis? Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you trying. Anybody else got a free live stream, Earl? I would say for sure Boots Ennis is going to be the favorite in this fight. It's almost like they just handpicked an opponent for him to keep busy. Well, he kind of tries to decide what he's going to do, I suppose, either stay at welterweight or move up to junior middle. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work. Anybody have a roll for to get the zone fights? Are you guys more into MMA or are you more into boxing? Who are you guys' favorite fighters? Alright, guys, we're keeping this live stream clean, so let's keep all the comments appropriate. This is about boxing and MMA. Hopefully, you noticed the title of this live stream. What other fights are you guys looking forward to? See what's going on with this. Yeah, this is a title fight versus Jaron Boots Ennis versus Karen Chukadzhian for Ennis's IBF title. Wow, interesting. Jonathan's telling us that he's having a hard time dealing. Boots is having a hard time with Chukadzhian, so maybe there's an upset in the making. Um, Let me try another website, see if I can catch this. Thank you so much for the update, Jonathan. Liam, how are you doing? All right, let me try that, Liam. Thanks. Okay, Jonathan's telling something looks a little off with Boots. I wonder if he just completely underestimated his opponent and, didn't do the right thing in terms of training camp or went out and had too much fun before. Oh, meth streams, two separate words. Okay, let me see. Oh, thank you so much. That worked. The meth streams. Okay, here we go. It is, what is this round? Round 6 of 12. So we're at the halfway point. Both men fighting out of orthodox at the moment. Boots Ennis trying for a couple double shot body shots. Then they fall into a clinch. Ref tells Boots Ennis keep the punches up. Men resume. They touch gloves. Chukadzhian back on the jab to the body, jab to the head. Comes upstairs with a hook. Duran falls into the clinch. Ref separates him again. Chukadzhian's right away the one landing the jab to the head. Circling around. Again, men fall into a clinch. Chukadzhian motions that Ennis is hitting him on the back of the head. Ennis goes in for a couple double body shots. Spins Chukadzhian around. Chukadzhian lands a jab to the chest. Throws really nice jabs. Boots Ennis tries to roll under, coming back. I'm not sure why Duran's mostly focusing on sort of very round punches like uppercuts, whatnot, couple body shots, and that's the 6th round. So thank you so much, Liam Jones, for that mess streams. Good, that's a good one. I'll have to remember to use that because I think I was trying 720p streams or something, and that was not working. All right, so Jonathan, I'll take your word for it that Karn, is winning the fight at this point because, yeah, Ennis needs to get working his jab a little better. I'm not sure why he chooses to stand up between rounds. I don't think that's something you want to do at the pro level, not at the world class pro level. You might as well take the weight off your legs between rounds. Allow the blood flow to allow your heart also. When you're sitting down, there's less blood pressure, is less work for your heart to have to pump the blood around your body when you're sitting down. Okay, so Boots opens up with jab to the body. So maybe that was the advice he got. Now he jabs to the head, but he's fighting with his hands down at his thighs, kind of doing that cute defensive moves. And Chukadzhian is just being more disciplined with his guard position. Now Duran gets him in the clinch. He's talking back at his corner or something. Chukadzhian lands a nice jab right hand. Jab right hand, body shot, pivot, out. I mean, just classic stuff from Chukadzhian. Okay, Chukadzhian misses with the right hand. They fall into a clinch again. Ref pushes them apart. It's weird because Ennis seems to be complacent, like, okay, we're gonna fall into a clinch, and I'm not gonna bother punching out, and I'm, gonna wait for the ref to separate us, and that's I'll resume. Okay, so again, Ennis is punching with a low left uppercut / low blow. The ref is talking to him. He's kind of disagreeing. Ref's talking to Chukadzhian. Chukadzhian touches gloves with Ennis as if to say, yes, it's all right, I guess. Chukadzhian's right back on a nice straight jab to the head, jab to the body, nice straight left hook, circles out, comes back, nice right hand from Chukadzhian. He keeps circling around in clockwise direction and then goes back counterclockwise. Ennis is trying to throw jabs to the head and is now fighting out a southpaw stance, lands some left hands, head, and then the body. Okay, so now we have Boots Ennis going into the clinch, but it looks like Boots has decided he's now going to be a little more southpaw. Again, right as soon as the action resumes, the men fall in together. Chukadzhian misses with a right. Ennis misses with a right hook. Chukadzhian with a nice little tight right uppercut on the inside. And then again, moves away, circling out, circling back the opposite direction. Men fall back into a clinch. Ref separates them. Ennis shoots a jab, comes with a right uppercut, or left uppercut rather. Still fighting out of southpaw stance, whereas Chukadzhian is maintaining orthodox. Again, referee separates them. Boots Ennis misses with a right hook. Chukadzhian's missing with a couple of his hooks. Boots lands a nice short left. Again, the men fall into a clinch against ropes. Ref separates them. Boots Ennis with jabbing to the head, misses with a big left as Chukadzhian circles away, again falling into a clinch. Ref separates. Again, Boots Ennis is trying now with a short right uppercut. He's throwing a lot of really loopy punches, and that's the round. So I don't really understand Ennis's game plan. Um, I'm baffled. I can see what Chukadzhian's game plan is, which is to start off with a jab, always a thing, and then to use counterclockwise and clockwise movement after he's done punching to get the heck out of there. But he's got to be a little bit more active because all this clinching is nullifying the action. And again, Ennis is on his feet in the corner, talking back to his coach. I've got the sound muted, so I don't know what he's saying, but that's not a good sign. It's really, the fighter, you're just supposed to shut up and listen and say yes or uh-huh. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. Yeah, Chukadzhian landed a nice, some nice hooks to Ennis's head. I hope they don't, if Chukadzhian's deserving, and we're now into like the eighth round, I hope they don't rob him of this decision. Okay, again, Chukadzhian circling around clockwise, starts off with that jab, and Ennis once again does his dip and slip and then just goes straight to a clinch. Ennis shooting out single jabs, but kind of missing, so he might be in trouble here. He needs to fight with the type of urgency that, hey, you're about to lose your 147-pound belt. Okay, again, they both fall into a clinch. Ref separates them back to the center of the ring. As soon as the action starts again, another clinch. Ref separates them. Ennis lands a nice jab. Ennis is now fighting again out of orthodox stance. Chukadzhian's still really light on his feet. It's good to see. In the eighth round, his conditioning is excellent. Chukadzhian's. He's still managing to move around. One thing I don't really like about Chukadzhian, as I noticed, he just crosses his left foot past his right as he's circling around to his right. But again, the men start to mix it up, get into a clinch against the ropes. Ref separates them. They're back center ring. Ennis misses with a big overhand right, starting to try with his right uppercuts. Again, the men fall into a clinch. Ref separates them. Chukadzhian starts off with a jab, and returns a jab. I think I think both men really got to put their straight punches together a little bit more, because again, they fall in together, back to the clinching. So really, if I were Chukadzhian, the key would be, since he's got really good lateral movement, the key is for him to just maintain that jab and maintain the distance so he can follow up with more punches, because again, the men are falling into a clinch. Chukadzhian escapes along the ropes with a nice weave under, gets a nice right body shot, but again, the men are in a clinch, mixing it up a little bit. Oh, Ennis does a nice pivot to turn Chukadzhian, but again, both men fall into clinch, and then Boots Ennis is just kind of holding with one hand, trying to hit the body with his free hand. Ref separates him. Oh, Chukadzhian comes with a nice right, a couple nice right hands, and that is the round. So, hello LS Vlogs, good to see you. Jonathan, Boots is looking hella average. Well, there's something, like you said, I think there's something off. I don't agree with him standing in the corner. I mean, we could prove this physiologically to you guys. Uh, do any of you guys dive or scuba dive or whatever? If that's the case, you know that the pressure, fluid pressure, depends on the depth or the height of the water, right? So if you're standing up, your heart is up here. Your heart has to work harder to get your blood circulating throughout your whole body when you're standing up, because there's a bigger height, so there's more pressure from, say, your heart to your feet. Whereas if you're sitting down, now you've immediately sort of alleviated that amount of work that your heart has to do. Heart's a muscle. The muscle can fatigue just as much as any other muscle. Okay, so yeah, he is looking average. And here we go into what are we on, the 9th or 10th round? And Chukadzhian's still looking pretty fresh. He's nice and bouncy on his feet, which I like to see. Okay, lands a good jab, jab, 1-2. Jab again for Chukadzhian. 1-2. Really nice right hand by Chukadzhian. Ennis is trying to fight out of, or is fighting out of righty stance. Chukadzhian's still circling around. When he closes in, Boots starts to try to drape himself on him. I'm not sure why Boots is throwing such looping punches, because that's not what's and then he does his like slip and dip moves. I don't know if he just thought his sort of natural athleticism was going to win him this fight, and he didn't bother training for it, since none of us have heard of Karen Chukadzhian before. Ref is issuing some type of warning to Chukadzhian. Fight action back in the center of the ring. Chukadzhian gets a nice short little uppercut on the inside and then starts circling around. Boots is trying to either throw overhand rights or a little body shot. Again, the referee separates them. Chukadzhian jab to the body, jab to the body again, right hand to the body, left hook upstairs. So, and then they fall into clinch. It would be good if Chukadzhian could just really stick that jab a little bit more. But it's like Ennis is kind of crowding him and then trying to hold and land a body shot, which is a perplexing game plan for me. Yeah, he waits for Chukadzhian to throw something, and then Boots tries to throw a nice little counter uppercut. Boots did get off a good jab right hand, but again, the men fall into a clinch, get separated. Chukadzhian tries the 1-2-3. Ennis again holding, and then trying to whack with the body with his free hand. You think Karn is Bud Crawford and Madrimov? Yeah, Bud is just, Ennis is just not looking good. He totally just missed with straight punch there. Again, the men are in tight. Ennis tries with some shots to the body. Chukadzhian has an underhook. All right, ref separates them. Back at mid-range. Karn's still circling around, lands a nice straight right. The men clinch up again. So, I mean, if that's the kind of fight it's going to be, where there's a lot of clinching, you got to utilize grappling moves. Some of you guys have probably seen Vasily Lomachenko's dad kind of pummeling moves to his boxing fighters. Old school boxers. I mean, I'm talking about fights you see in black and white, like with Willie Pep, and certainly Roberto Duran in a more modern era. They were excellent grapplers. So that means when you get in that clinch, you have to be able to manipulate your opponent's body and their hands and control things with use your head and be able to land punches even in that position. Jonathan is saying Karin won that round. Well, you know what, Jonathan, if Karin won the first half, which I missed, and you had spoken on, then I think he deserves to get the decision. Whether they're going to rob him or not is a whole nother story. Okay, again, this round starts. Karin's right away jab to the body. It looks like Ennis is just waiting for Karn to throw something and then trying to counter, but then the men fall into a clinch and all the action gets kind of nullified. Again, we have Karn with a couple underhooks, Ennis bracing back, ref separates. It's one of those, I guess the Brits call this a chippy fight, but I don't feel that Ennis is being particularly effective. He tries that nice tight right uppercut on the inside and misses. Now he's holding and trying to hit with his left hand. Chukadzhian's trying to hit with his right hand. So ref is saying something to Chukadzhian. But I wish Chukadzhian would just make more use of that nice straight jab that he has, because I can easily see the judges robbing him for these just chippy exchanges on the inside. So now Ennis is starting to open up a little bit at that mid-range inside. Tries with that nice right uppercut, but misses. The men fall into a clinch, and then Ennis just kind of relaxes and waits for the ref to stop it, or break them apart rather. All right, so now the ref is deducting a point from Chukadzhian. But to be honest, I mean, Ennis is initiating the clinches just as much as he is. Again, Ennis is trying a lot of these little hook moves on the inside. It just seems like an odd choice for someone who's supposed to be a master boxer. You would expect him to be throwing more straight punches. Okay, Ennis is starting to open up a little bit. Left uppercut, straight left. Chukadzhian's got a wizard grip with his left, and he's got an underhook on the left, grabbing on the right. Chukadzhian's got to get going. He can't afford to stand here like this and just take shots from Ennis for sure. Comes with a nice right to the body. I think at this point, Ennis might sense that he needs a KO to get this W. It looks like he's starting to open up. So Chukadzhian's got to get busy here. Ennis has Chukadzhian against the ropes. All right, so Chukadzhian's just walking forward at this point. And that's the round. Yeah, Chukadzhian's looking a little bit tired. Not sure what he's saying. Ref is talking to the cornerman. It's always annoying because you only have 60 seconds, even less in the corner, and when the ref comes and eats up your time, it's like, go away. All right. Why is Jaron Ennis not fighting from range? Exactly, Jonathan. That's what I'm wondering too. Like, what is the game plan here? It makes no sense, and he's throwing all these sort of loopy shots, and then he shakes his head like as if to say like this is all Chukadzhian's fault. Like his performances, I can hear him at the post-fight presser. He's gonna say, "Well, what can I do? This guy didn't want to fight," but he's showing us that he doesn't really know how to fight on the inside. Ennis is. Okay, he just missed with a nice choppy right hand, short right hand. But again, yeah, he's not fighting at range. Walks into Chukadzhian, ref separates them. Wow. So DAZN, whoever's working for DAZN has Ennis up 97-91. What do you think, Jonathan? Okay, so Chukadzhian's making a lot of use of his lateral movement. Well, if that's the case, they're gonna rob this guy. I mean, that's basically it. Okay. All right, again, Jaron is initiating some of this grappling, and then when they're tied up, he tries to hit with his free hand, which is what you're supposed to do. But you can't complain if you're part of it, you know? You either punch your way out or keep somebody at range. Oh, nice circling movement by Chukadzhian, and he catches Ennis. But Chukadzhian surely knows that he's got to just be absolutely outstanding. Really nice circular movement by Chukadzhian. Again, jabbing to the chest, stepping back. Then Duran falls in and the clinch begins. Jonathan's telling us they had some early swing rounds. Okay, but still, I don't know. Given that 97-91 scorecard on somebody's behalf, it just shows me that they're just basically going to rob this guy no matter what. So here we go. Yeah, maybe it is going to be Crawford Nadrimov. I don't know. Okay, yeah, this is the 11th. These are, as they say, the championship rounds. And this is just kind of walking Chukadzhian down. Chukadzhian coming back with some nice straight lefts. Or straight rights, rather. Again, men fall into a clinch. Chukadzhian still throwing punches on the inside. Ennis is trying to kind of, again, ref separates him. Ennis tries to counter Chukadzhian's jab with a, Ennis then throws a body shot. He's finding out a lefty stance now. Tries another body shot. Chukadzhian persisting with that straight right. Bounces out, comes right back in. And that's the round. So we got one more round left. I think, here's my prediction. They're gonna rob Chukadzhian. They're gonna give the decision to Ennis. Yeah, but perplexing performance. Still, again, we're in the championships rounds, and Team Ennis chooses to keep him standing on his feet. I don't think we're seeing Ennis at his best right here. I don't know. I think he kind of slacked in camp or something. Yeah, the replay is showing a nice straight right that lands for Chukadzhian. And a hook. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is the last round. If Ennis wants to make a statement, he needs to KO Chukadzhian. I don't think that's going to happen. Chukadzhian, on the other hand, needs to just use all his movement and all his straight punches to just make it plain. Okay, again, the men fall into a clinch. Ref separates him. Duran is trying to start out with a jab, but now he comes with a hard right. Trying to do that counter uppercut. Again, the men fall into a clinch, get separated. Ennis opens with a hook to the head, hook to the body. Chukadzhian falling in a clinch. All right, Chukadzhian really needs to make use of his jab. Comes with a left hook. Again, the men fall in tight. Ennis misses with a hook, misses with an uppercut. Chukadzhian lands a nice inside right. Ref separates the men. Ennis opens up at close range with a nice tight right uppercut. Oh, nice 1-2 from Chukadzhian. Nice right hand from Chukadzhian. And it's kind of missing with that chopping overhand right, short right. Again, very strange choice of, curvy or loopy punches from Ennis. Even though they're on the inside, I mean, you still have to use straight punches even on the inside. Oh, nice combination lands for Chukadzhian. Series of hooks to the head. And again, they fall into a clinch. Ref has to separate them. Chukadzhian still bouncing on his feet. Nice straight right hand by Chukadzhian, bouncing on his feet. Nice jab. I mean, Ennis is going to get a gift here. Um, and he's going to complain about Chukadzhian clinching him, but it's like not as if he didn't initiate clinches too. Right. Ennis is starting to open up. We got 30 seconds left. But fall into a clinch, push against the ropes. Ref separates them back to the center ring. Chukadzhian with a straight left, a straight right rather. Ennis is trying to open up with hooks to the head and body. Both men are in have under. Chukadzhian has double underhooks, and then Ennis just kind of leans on him. Straight left, and then a straight right, and then a left hook by Chukadzhian. Interesting choice. Again, he's trying with that overhand right. Lands. There's a clinch, and that's it. So, what do you guys think? You think he's... Yeah, do you think they're getting Rob Karn? I think they're gonna rob Karn, just because that's how it goes. Um, I'd be highly surprised if he gets a decision, especially given that 97-91 card by whomever their on-air uh, person is. Well, Jonathan, you stick around to see who gets this? Let's see. So, let's see what the decision is for this. We were watching Boots Ennis versus Karn Chukadzhian. I hope they don't just completely rob Chukadzhian because it was definitely not a one-sided affair for Ennis. So, yeah, made fresh daily. Agreed. Boots not impressive at all. I mean, his so-called game plan was baffling. Um, he didn't he didn't nullify Chikadzian's circular movement, aka lateral movement, and he was just initiated just as much of those clinches as Chikadzian did. Defense needs some work. Well, I just wonder if he just underestimated um, Chukadzhian, and slept on him and just didn't do the right thing in terms of training. Whether that's too much extracurricular activities, as we call it, or they didn't put in enough tough sparring. I don't know, but I think it's pretty apparent that Chukadzhian put in the work. I just wish Chukadzhian had been able to get off his a nice stiff jab and maintain distance a little better for the second half. Karn had great footwork. Yes, absolutely. Had he started earlier, might have had more impact. Yeah, I know. I was only able to tune in after round 6, thanks to Liam dropping a link. and still. So pretty widespread, 117, 116. So that means they gave him, what, 9 and 8 or 9 rounds out of that. So, Jonathan, do you agree with that? So, yeah, Karn definitely had a bad style for boots. Um, Made Fresh Daily says Karn was throwing some nice shots. I thought he was going to drop boots, walled him a couple of times. Yeah, you know what, Made Fresh Daily? I mean, I think the potential was there. It just Chukadzhian needed to put his punches together and set him up a little bit better, like just marginally a little bit more. Like he could have perhaps set up Ennis for that stoppage or KO. That happens in boxing, absolutely. I think this was completely, a stay busy fight for Ennis, and so they custom found this fellow named Karan Chukadzhian. But yeah, he unfortunately for Boots in winning, he lost. Like he did not look good. He did not look invincible. Made Fresh Daily. I think Karn won. Well, in all honesty, I didn't get to see the early rounds, so I can't really call that. Um, Made Fresh Daily saying, yeah, had he put one or two more on a few of those combos, he may have got a knockdown. Yeah, or at least just exposed Ennis a little bit more. But by them clinching up so much, it was hard to really expose him. Jonathan saying, no, that scorecard was a little wide for me. Yeah, Boot got outboxed at times tonight for sure. Um, I don't know. I don't want to say he lost some is going to lose some fans, but he just did not look spectacular. That's for sure. Um, and he's going to blame that on Chikadzian's quote unquote style, but he was just as much to blame for the clinching stuff. Uh, just shows to me that when guys are constantly resorting to clinching like that, they're not really comfortable fighting on the inside. So that's something he's gotta work on. He has nice tight uppercuts when he's on the inside, but he needs the distance to get that. Now they're all showing in the replay. They're all showing highlights of what Ennis did well. Okay. Nate Fresh is saying he should have done better, especially since that was the rematch. Oh, I didn't know that was a rematch. Okay. Not perception is going to be stay away from Bud. Yeah. Uh, yeah, with that performance, I mean, Bud's probably already on Twitter or X or whatever, like making fun of Boots. But yeah, no, he's not ready for Crawford. 100% not ready for Crawford. Um, well, that was interesting. I'm not listening to Chris Mannix in his stupid suit jacket with a T-shirt underneath. Um, Probably tomorrow I'll rewatch the whole fight and maybe do a breakdown of this one. But uh, as of right now, I would say that was just sort of more boxing. Like the boxing industry has spoken. Of course, they're not going to dethrone the champion to somebody that is unknown, relatively speaking. Oh, Jonathan, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. You may want to also consider joining the membership side so you get early access to a lot of my content, and you'll get access to members only polls and some members only content. But I really try to seek input from the members in order to figure out what content to create in terms of fight breakdowns. Oh, where can I find the little doc about me and the Golden Gloves? Well, there is something really short posted on my Instagram that was made by another content creator. There's also, if you look on my YouTube channel, if you look for the scroll down and look for the boxing content with a sort of golden colored thumbnail border, all that stuff relates to like news footage from boxing from back when we were fighting in the gloves. Yeah, Made Fresh Daily. I think if you just like when you're on the channel page, you just scroll over to the right. There should be, or actually maybe it's further up. There should be a join button. How long I've been following boxing? I mean, I've been boxing myself since the mid '90s. So I didn't really um, become a student of the game until a little bit later. Initially, I really tried to watch a lot of uh, black and white boxing film like Joe Louis, Sugar Ray, Willie Pep, Archie Moore. Those are some of my favorite fighters. Made Fresh Daily, appreciate that. I'm a pioneer. Jonathan saying my first fight I saw was 1975. Oh, cool. What do you remember? What fight that was? Yes, Made Fresh Daily, Willie Pep, one of my favorite for sure. You want to talk about great footwork? That's like footwork on another level. All right. Well, I think the in the end here, even though Ennis won, he lost, and I think even though Chukadzhian lost, I think he won the respect at least uh, for those of us who were watching him for the first time. That's for sure. Oh wow, Jonathan! So your first fight was a thrill in Manila. That's crazy. That was a heck of a first fight to see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm even gonna watch the fight post fight presser on this because like I already said what I think, and it's gonna say, I'm glad I got the one, I got the win. Uh, all glory to God. What else is he gonna say? Or Allah? I don't know if he's Christian or Muslim. Then he's gonna say, he's gonna use Chukadzhian. Oh well, Chukadzhian was always clinching, so that's why I couldn't get him out of there or something. But nah. All right. Jonathan was 5 years old when he watched The Thrill in Manila. That's pretty cool. Is your family into boxing? Is that why you guys were watching it? All right. Now we're showing on there Boots and his signing autographs. Okay. He has the most bizarro ring attire with purple feathers and spikes coming out of the shoulders or something. Like what the heck is that? So pigeons won't land on his shoulders? That's pretty weird. I don't know, man. That was a fashion loss. That was a definite L, his outfit. Oh well. Jonathan, I'd like to send you some fights of my cousin who was a pro in the 1980s. Oh, cool. Well, maybe post them on YouTube and everybody can see them. Wow, you got to see Jonathan's telling us you got to see Hearns Benitez live. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool fight to be able to see live. I can't even remember what my first live pro fight was. But I can tell you one of the big ones that I did get to see was Hopkins versus Trinidad. That was pretty cool. That whole card. Definitely one of the sort of highlight memories of me being of the pro fights I was able to go to. All right, guys. Look, Jonathan made Fresh Deli. Thank you so much. I'm gonna call it an evening. So yes, thank you, Jonathan, for subscribing. Hope to see you as a member, or at least on the channel in the comments and whatnot, because you have a lot of great boxing insight. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you also to Liam for the Earl on how to get the free live stream for the zone. All right, so I'm going to say good night, you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much for tuning in.